Hi YouTube. I wanted to show you my homeschool planning pack that I made. I have this available for purchase on my Etsy shop, Precious Homeschool, or you can go to my blog, precioushomeschool.com, click the shop tab and purchase it from there. Anyway, I just wanted to show you some of this, mainly my weekly planner that I made, but I will go through some of these pages for you. Here's the table of contents and copyright information. And here's a section on how the planner came to be, kind of a general overview. Within the planner there's a curriculum planner, a school year planner, lesson planner, records and logs section, personal extras, and bonus section. And this is like a list of every page that's included, all the titles of the pages anyway. So this is the curriculum planning section, and these are the pages that's included in that. Then you have your school year planning pages, your lesson planning, your logs and records, personal extras and bonuses. And these next few pages talk about how to use each of those planning pages. Now, this is my own personal copy. This is how thick it is. But all of these pages are all colored pages. The actual download that you purchase is a digital PDF download, and there are a total of 121 pages in it. But each page comes in your choice of color or black and white. So for mine, I just printed off all the color. And like I said, I'm not going to explain each of these pages. The video would take forever if I did that. But some pages, there's like 2 or 3 pages that come in your choice to print it off portrait or landscape. And this is a curriculum review. And these are the first few pages I want to go over. So the first sheet in the school year planning pages is called the Determining a School Year. And this is my book just, to show people. So throughout this book I won't have anything filled out, but I do have some pages that I've already filled out for this current school year. So when I go to plan my school year, the first thing I do is I get out the Determining a School Year page. And in each box for each month, I write down things that I know we'll be doing each month or we would like to do, and that kind of gives me an idea of what days I would want to take off of school for. So then the next sheet, I go to time and date. I don't know if you can see that. So I go to timeanddate.com and I make my own customizable calendar, school year calendar. And so how I use this is I mark the date I want to start school, and I mark the date I want to end school, and then I count how many weeks there are between those two dates. And there are 44 weeks that we have between those days. So I mark off the days that I know for sure we won't do school, and I get that information. I kind of use the Determining a School Year sheet to get some of that information. And I mark those off, and I subtract those dates from how many weeks we have. Now I end up with 42 weeks. Then after that, the next page will be planned school hours. And I have a sheet filled out. This is for my second grader for this year. And I will try to go over this quickly. Okay, for math, this is our first year using Singapore, and it's not a traditional type of, textbook thing that has, lesson 1, lesson 2, all that. So what I do is we have 42 weeks of school, and I got that from the calendar. So under the total number of school weeks, I just write down 42. This is my core section. This is my non-core section. So here's 42. And I'm not exactly sure how many lessons the Singapore Math has. But I do know that we will be doing math every school day, Monday through Friday. And I count each core subject hour as lasting 1 hour. So this, if we do math 5 days a week, that would be 5 hours of math a week. The state I live in, we have to keep track of how many hours we do. So when I multiply 5 hours in math a week times the 42 weeks, I get 210 hours of math that we should have by the end of the school year. And I do that for each subject. The language arts is the same way. We don't have a traditional curriculum this year that we're using. The language arts includes typing, writing, grammar, vocabulary, parts of speech, several others, spelling. Anyway, so we have like different little books and online sources we do things like that for. So there's 42 weeks, and I know we're going to be working on language arts an hour a day for 5 days a week, and we'll just be doing a mixture of those subjects, different ones of those each day. So once again, 5 and 42 is 210. Now for science and health, my second grader has 60 lessons. So we have to do 60 lessons in 42 weeks. When I divide those two, that tells me I need to do 1.4 lessons a week. So I'm just going to say we're going to do 2 lessons a week. So we'll do 2 lessons a week, and we'll do, that's 2 lessons a week. We'll do it for 2 days, that's 2 hours, and then 2 hours times my 60 lessons, that gives me 120 hours. And same thing for history. We have 30 lessons that we have to do in 42 weeks, so by dividing those two, it tells me I need to do like 7/10 of a lesson a week. Well, I'm just going to say we'll do 1 a week, but our history, there's quite a bit to it. So we're going to spend 2 days on 1 lesson, an hour each day. So it would be 2 hours a week times the 30 lessons, and that's 60 hours. And reading, they just read all the time. That's not a problem. So I'm just saying a minimum of reading 3 hours a week, which they completely exceed that, but that's just a minimum. So when I multiply those two together, it'd be 126 hours. And when I add these up, it comes up to 726 hours for core. The state I live in, we only have to have 600 hours of core. So even if we, miss more days than what we should or don't get something done, we should still be well enough. Okay. I do the same thing for our non-core subjects. And once again, there's really no set curriculum. For Bible we do, but it doesn't go in lesson orders. Just kind of do it as you go. But we do Bible 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, an hour each day. So once again, just multiply the hours, because I know how many I want to do by the weeks, and that's how many hours I get. And for art, music, and then fit and active, we just work 2 hours a week. Multiply that by how many weeks, and that gives me 84. And then I just take how many core I should get, which is 462, and then add that to, 462 non-core, add that to 726 core. That tells me I should get 1,188 hours total for the school year. The state I live in, we only have to have 1,000, so once again, we'll be okay. Right. The next sheet is the weekly subject schedule. And I use the last sheet to kind of plug information in here. And I have one filled out for this year. So once again, this is my second grader. And the sheet we just looked at, we need to do math and language arts 5 days a week. So I have a sheet Monday through Friday, and you can see I put math every day, and I put language arts every day. For science and history, they need to do it 2 days a week. Well, science also includes health, so I put science on Monday, health on Tuesday, and then I did history on Thursday and Friday. And the purpose of this sheet is to make, to choose what days you would like to do things, in case you want to have a light school day. Like at the beginning of the school year, Wednesday was our light school day. We had church that night and we ran errands in the afternoon, so that's how it worked for us. And then do the same thing with your non-core subjects down here. And the next sheet, like I said, this is just how I plan our school year, our hours and kind of our schedule. So the next sheet would be the ideal schedule. Now I used this sheet once, but after that I didn't need it anymore, so I don't use this anymore. But I filled one out here to kind of show you how you could use it. Here's a blank one. It's your ideal schedule, and it goes Monday through Friday. And here's the column for, this looks kind of blurry on the camera, so I hope you can see it in the video. But it says time/daily order. So you can list your subjects here that you'd like to do each day, and you can list a time that you would like to do each subject, or just list the order you want to go. The next sheet, there's actually two, and they're very, very similar. This one is called the Yearly Pacing Guide Overview, and it is for all subjects, yearly view of all subjects. There are 40 of these boxes. Each column is a quarter, like first quarter, second, third, and fourth. And there are 10 rows. So there are 40 boxes each for 40 weeks for the school year. I know some people school less than that, so you don't have to use every box. But but anyway, so this is for all subjects, and I have one filled out here as an example. So each box is for every subject for a different week. So this first box for first quarter is for week 1. So some people want, like they would put math. They want to do lessons 1 through 5 in math. They want to do English lessons 1 through 4, and spelling and history and science. Kind of is what they want to accomplish within that week. So the next one would be week 2 for all the subjects. The next page, well, you would continue to do that until the very last week, and it's kind of a way to kind of see if you're on track. The very next page is the exact same, except for it's just titled Yearly Pacing Guide, and it is for one subject. Yearly Pacing Guide of one subject. So you would put your subject here, and I have an example filled out. So each box, once again, there are 40 boxes for 40 weeks, and each box would be for 1 week, week 1, week 2, 3, and 4. And like, let's say this one here is for math. So you put like, I want to accomplish lessons 1 through 5 in math on week 1, and you have room to put a little bit more information if you want, like what kind of topic or concept you're working on, and just so on. Then that's the end of the school year planning pages. And then the lesson plans, I'm not going to go through every page, but in my book, like I said at the beginning, I explain all these pages in detail. Now this is a daily lesson planner, and you can see the C stands for core. This is your hour column. C stands for core hours. The E is for elective, or non-core hours. And you put today's date. You put things that you need for those for that day's school lessons. And there's 2 columns, one for each child. So you can put 2 children here, or if you just have 1 child, just make it 2 days. You may want to put Monday here and Tuesday here, and mark this out and put your student's name. But you just put the lessons here, and if you use the hour column, you just put how long it took you. Now, for those of you that don't have to keep track of hours, there's one that's the exact same, but there's just no hour column. Now, the main purpose of this video, like I said, was to show you the weekly planner. This is kind of what got this whole planning pack started. I made this weekly planner in the fall of 2014 because I was tired of having a sheet for my lessons, a sheet for my hours, a sheet for my grades, and there just had to be a better way, and one day God just told me how, and I've been using it ever since. So, when you download my planning pack, you will have many choices of colors, first of all, or no color at all. Now, this sheet, you can see there are 5 columns, Monday through Friday, and there are 5 rows with the big boxes for 5 different subjects. Now, in the planning packs, they're all like this, but I did include 1 or 2 options with a little box right here. And so this is my 5th graders weekly planner for week 18. And I'll go ahead and explain this. So what you have is you have the weekly planner. You put the child's name, the school year. We do quarters. Some people just do semesters. So you just choose which one it is you're doing, quarter or semester. So this is 2nd quarter, week 18. Then there's a couple lines to write a memory verse of some kind that you're working on, whether it's a short little poem or just a quote or scripture. You put the days. I put it in for Monday, and I put the dates on here. This first row is our reading row. Now, some of you may want to put, reading here, and then put like the title of the book, the author, how many pages they read. I used to do that, but we don't anymore. So I put on log, and on my reading log is where I put all that information. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how I use this. I'm going to do the math section here. So, this is our math section, Monday through Friday. And remember, this is week 18. So, from the first week of school to the 17th week of school, my child had obtained 70 hours in math. Okay? She had been graded on 4 subjects. Well, for the 2nd quarter, she had been graded on 4 subjects. She had a total of 370 points. Sorry, not 4 subjects, 4 lessons in math. Had a total of 370 points. So this is what we did in math on Monday. And there are 3 boxes here. And I checked off the top box because this lesson is done. The middle box is where you put how long it takes them to do the lesson, whether it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 15 minutes, or an hour. You time it however you do it. For us, each subject is an hour, so I put an hour. And the third box is where you put the grade. This lesson was not graded. So here's Tuesday's math lesson, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now on Friday she did a review, and it was graded, so I underlined the lesson in red, and I put the grade here. Now, so she did math each day, Monday through Friday, an hour each day. So we started off with 70 hours, and we ended with 75. So she had been graded on 4 items. Now she's graded on 5, so that's what this 5 is for. And then her previous points were 370. You add that to the 96. Now she has 466 points total out of 5 lessons that she's graded on math. So when you divide the 2, it comes up to 93%. That is her math grade now. And so this sheet, now I have one sheet for lessons, hours, and grades. And it is so much smoother, and I just love it. Anyway, so this is the front. We use the front for core subjects, which the state doesn't really consider Bible core, but I put it in here anyway because it's the first thing that we start off with. I don't count Bible as my core subject. I just put it in the core section because we start off with Bible. So this is the front. The back, we use this back section here for our non-core subjects. We have fit and active, music, art, and life skills. And the same thing, how many hours they have obtained at the beginning of the week, and then how many they added throughout the week. Down here I put a section for Saturday and Sunday. If they do anything school-related, I just fill it in, like reading, shred for 1 hour on Saturday, reading's the core, so it goes down here. Now, these are the total hours they have done from the beginning of the school year up until this point. And it says total hours including any weekend time. So the 353, I got that number by adding the core of 1 hour here plus all of these hours that are core and like the reading. Okay, added all those up and it came up to 353. That's how many she's got from the beginning of the school year up to week 18. And then the non-core, I did the same thing. Just add up all the non-core plus the Bible on the other side, and it's 436. And then I take those numbers and insert them into our weekly hour log. So if this one was filled out, it would have week 1 up here and all the way, and this was week 18 that I just showed you, so I'd have like 18 here with the dates for week 18. How many core hours, which was 353, how many non-core, and how many core hours that we did away from home. So those are the only 2 pages I mess with throughout the school year, each week. So if you have any questions, just ask. I will try to quickly flip through the rest of these. This is a monthly subject planner. Then you have logs and records, an attendance record, a grade tracker, list of subjects taught, resources used, weekly hour log, a year-end hour totals. You have a landscape reading log and a portrait reading log, memorization log, field trip log, summer break activities, then some personal extras. This is login info for the parent school-related site, login info for the child-related site, login info for child's fun website, notes, then the bonuses. You have a report card that I made that you can use, a field trip report. These are some bookmarks that I made. Just print them off on cardstock, hole punch the top, put a ribbon through. Then the child can write down the name of the book, or just the date and how many pages they read, or the date and how long they read. And then when the book is done, they just give you the bookmark reading log, and you insert that information wherever you need. The time tracker sheet and a daily lesson. This is for the child. You fill in what lessons you want them to do each day and give it to them, and if they're independent enough, they just take care of it. So if you have any questions, just ask, and I hope you enjoyed this video.